Good morning, pilgrims. It is day 11 on the Via de la Plata, and we have a foggy, cold morning today. Yes, we do. I was at a trucker's rest stop. I could see all the truckers having breakfast this morning. Today we have a 25-kilometer day to this little town where there's a municipal albergue, that's where I'm aiming to go. But I'm a little bit skittish because if for any reason that place is not open, I saw in Bronce that you have to go pick up the keys at the municipality. So if anything were to happen, then I have to do a 30-plus-kilometer day, and that won't be nice at all. But I'm hoping to see all the pilgrims because I haven't seen a single pilgrim in over 3 days. That just might be because I'm staying at private accommodation, so I was expecting to see someone here yesterday. But I guess if there were any pilgrims on the road, they probably went to the monastery, which I was on the fence about going there. I mean, for you guys visually, it would have been better than this place. I'm gonna be walking on the road for a couple of kilometers and then reconnect with the Camino a little further up ahead. Yes. Another reason why I didn't stay at the monastery is because last night the temperature dropped to 3 degrees Celsius. That's just above freezing point. And I don't have a sleeping bag. What, am I crazy? All I have is a liner. I'm relying on the blankets at the albergues or the private accommodations where I'm staying, and so far it's been working out just fine. I mean, I've only stayed at one municipal and they had it. I'm counting on the fact that this one has it as well, because tonight is gonna be cold as well. Maybe not that low. But all this is gonna change as soon as I enter Galicia, because as we already know, the municipal albergues in Galicia do not have blankets. So when I get to Salamanca, I have to look at the forecast and make the call. I have always entered Galicia like around May, you might say, except for the Camino Portuguese, my first one, which was in April. And did I have a sleeping bag back then? I don't remember. Anyways, I have to keep an eye out for that because, yeah, that won't be fun if I had to stay at an albergue and all I have is a liner and it's like 7 degrees or 5 degrees or something. Oh, look, I'm leaving the road for a little section. Today I had to follow the road for 6 kilometers to reconnect with the Camino. This area where I am right now is where I have the longest days on my Camino. This is nice. I think the fog just cleared away already. That's usually what happens when the sun comes out. So yeah, sleeping bag. I think you do need it here. I didn't bring one. I had it in my hand. I was this close to bringing it, but I'm just trying to conserve some weight because I'm carrying all the goodies. All right, it's warming up. May have to take off the jacket soon. It is 9:30 and it's been just leapfrogging over all these puddles of water on the mud. Oh my God, I see a pilgrim over there. Yes, this is where the Camino, the two Caminos are gonna join up ahead. And even though I took an alternative, you might say, I still saw all the flavors of the official route. I saw the stone markers, the ones with the VP, the block ones with the yellow arrows. And talking yesterday to the owner of the place where I stay, he told me that this used to be the official route for a while, and then the monks kind of deviated it their way, which is understandable. It is a pilgrimage, and it is much better to stay at a monastery than at a truck motel. Wow, man, another pilgrim. I don't believe it. This is like a rare sighting. Okay, it is 9:45. Made it to the town of Casas de Don Antonio, which is pretty cool. Even though the Camino, you see the arrows pointing away from the town. Once I decided to come in, of course, I started seeing yellow arrows everywhere. I went to the church, which was closed, unfortunately. Saw a couple of storks. And then on my way back, you know, looking at Google Maps, I'm like, there's nothing in this town, not even a bar. But as it turns out, there was one and it was open. So I went inside and I had a mid-morning coffee break. And I also got an Aquarius and just started looking at the rest of the stage, which looks interesting, even though I'm kind of following the main road all the way to Cáceres. There are a few things along the way, a few highlights, including a castle. That's a hotel that you can book for €100 a night. So, you know, and the reviews are amazing, of course. You know, that could be a backup plan, but €99 seems like a lot for a pilgrimage, not for a regular vacation. For a regular vacation, that is actually a bargain. When I was there at the bar, the other pilgrim showed up. I started talking to him. He's German, even though he has a Canadian flag. That's because his girlfriend is Canadian. And yeah, leaving the town now, heading back into the open road. You see the yellow arrows everywhere. Do you need GPS tracks on this one? I would say not really. But then again, I have found myself in a few situations where the path was not clearly marked. And if it wasn't for the GPS and doing a double take, I probably could have taken the wrong path. So it doesn't matter. Even on the Camino Frances, people get lost. So if just to have it on your phone as a plan B, as a backup, just in case you get to an area that is not well signed. Also in the town, by the Ayuntamiento, the city hall, there was a water fountain, so I managed to refill my water bottle. I only had about half a liter of water left because yesterday where I stay, the pipes were so rusted that I wasn't gonna drink that water. No way. So I filled it up here, and now that I'm leaving the town, I see another water fountain, although it says that the water is not treated. But it does look pretty cool. Look at that. And there's a pig over there. It is 12:30. I'm in Aldea del Cano, a lively little village, but the Maison is closed, so I'm gonna look for a place to have lunch Somewhere else there is another option by the main road, and then there's like two like service stations where I can grab a bite to eat. Man, I've seen so many storks on today's stage and on any by far. The temperature is nice and cool with a nice breeze, which is just perfect for walking. I mean, I would not want to be out here in the middle of the summer or a heat wave. That would just be suicidal. Even though you see some areas, some rest areas and some improvised ones under the shade of some trees, for the most part, I would just stick to doing this in the springtime or maybe in the fall. Look at that tower back there. All right, heading back to the main roads. It was a nice little detour. I thought I was gonna see or have a bite to eat, but I got this instead. Not too bad at all, right? Squeaky is back. I don't know if you can hear it, but my shoes, when they get wet, they start squeaking. That would be the only downside to the Altras Olympus 5. This hasn't happened to me with any other shoes. I don't know what's going on with this model. Maybe they'll change it in the future. Or it could be the way I walk, because only my left foot is squeaking. Oh, the things that we worry about when we're out here in the Camino. The simplicity of life. You know, we're just concentrating on the basics of life. A bed to sleep, a place to eat, a shower. You know how it goes. Am I heading in the right direction? I don't even see an arrow. But there's the main road. Yeah, there it is. Another river crossing or stream crossing. That it seems to be the norm, not just today's stage, but over the last few days. Today's been wetter than most days, you might say. My shoes have gotten wet quite a few times. This might be one of the only caminos where I would suggest you bring Gore-Tex shoes if you can. Had lunch already in two parts. Or about to enter a tunnel with the Echo. Look at it. So I had lunch in two parts. I had half of the bocadillo that I made myself yesterday with the supplies that I bought in Merida. Echo! Oh yeah. And went to a restaurant on the side of the road, Las Vegas. You know, they told me that they start serving lunch at 1:30. So I continue on. I had my sandwich, and then I saw the restaurant on the side of the road with all the Camino, the Santiago signs. Went in there, and I saw three other pilgrims. I saw the German guy with the Canadian flag, and I also saw the Japanese couple. I've seen also one of the French pilgrims. So today I've seen my group in a way. So in that restaurant, same story, it was 12:30. They're like, oh, we don't have lunch until 1:30. And that is something that I noticed. The Spaniards, man, they don't bend the rules, not even for us. It's a duality that they have. They want to bring us there, but then when everybody shows up, they're like, no, it's not lunchtime yet. So I had a caña that came with a little side dish. It was just a little bit of meat. It looks like everybody's heading in the same direction to the same town. And yeah, it's warming up now. Yes. So made it to town. What was it, like 3 something in the afternoon? Cloudy, it got cloudy now, which is not bad at all. After crossing over that Roman bridge that caught me by surprise. The albergue is at the entrance of town. There are 2 other pilgrims in there, the German and there was another guy. And right now I'm on my way to the bar in town because that's where you go pay and that's where you get the keys and the credencial, you get the stamp. I think dinner is gonna have to be probably at the same bar because there's nothing here. And today, what did we do? 28 kilometers, 28.9. I thought it was supposed to be 25. See, that's what scares me. It's always more than what I get from Gronce. So that day, that's supposed to be 38 point something. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a 40 kilometer day. Yes, there won't be any escaping it. But at least I'm burning calories, 1,500 calories, according to this app. But of course, it's not taking in consideration the 30 pounds that I'm carrying with me. Oh man, let's see. I saw that they have a washer and a dryer. Let me ask the guy at the bar if I can use it. How much is it? It would be nice if I could do laundry and not by hand. All right, making my way back from the bar where I checked in and talking to the guy, he told me that yes, there is a washer, but no dryer, and the washer doesn't have detergent. So I'm like, what's the use of it then? So I went on my way back, I came across this like supermarket, like a small supermarket slash cafeteria slash, I don't know, they have food in there. And I was able to get detergent for just 1 cycle for 60 cents, which is great. So I'll be doing laundry, the drying, I don't know. It's a little windy. Maybe put it next to the heater. I didn't even check if they have blankets in there. Oh man, that would be something else. What else? What else? At the bar, they have dinner at 7:30 and tomorrow they close. It's the only day that they close, which is unfortunate because the next town, Cáceres, is like 11 plus miles away, but the supermarket opens at 7 and they have a coffee machine there and they have a bunch of snacks. So I think I will be having a breakfast over there. So yeah, let's do laundry. See if I manage to get everything dry before the sunset. Even though it got cloudy now, I don't know, I'm not too worried. Now, I also met at the supermarket the Japanese couple. So now it's 2, 4, 5 people staying in this albergue in the middle of nowhere. That goes to show you. All right, let's find that blanket right now. That's the only thing in the back of my mind. There it is. There it is. They do have blankets and plenty. I did laundry, of course, and right now it's drying here in my improvised clothesline that came in handy, especially those little beads that hold the clothes from falling off from the wind. And it's been getting some sun for the last couple of hours. I don't know if it's gonna dry completely, but there are 2 heaters inside and then I can just put it very close to it and have it finish off. There are 11 pilgrims in here. Yes, sir. I didn't see one for 3 days and now I'm right in the bubble. They all stayed yesterday at the convent and they all had the same thing to say about the place. Great place, really, really cold, like 5 degrees inside. And you know how it goes. I'm thinking about heading into town to get a bite to eat for dinner. Now, I don't know if I'm going to the bar or the supermarket. In the bar, I can get, platos combinados and all that. At the market, I can get like pizza, a salad, or cold cuts. And with that, I want to thank the trail angel of the day, Christopher Henry. Thank you so much, sir. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early on a 20 plus kilometer day with a very nice town in the middle. See you then.